Hello everyone, this is Dee from Purple Sage Healthy Living and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to talk to you about making elderberry syrup. Now I know that most people think of elderberry syrup during the winter and whenever people have colds, flu, that kind of thing. And yes, it's good for all of that. But today I'm making a batch to get ready for the spring season. My husband cuts grass and he has really bad allergies. And he was taking something from over the counter. And when I started doing the elderberry syrup, we discovered that it helps his allergies too. So I needed a new batch, and I thought I'd show you, how I make mine and see if maybe you might want to try it too. It's very, very easy. Just like everything that I try to show you that's made from scratch, it's not that hard. You just won't have to have the ingredients and just go for it. Now, this is one thing. Elderberries, you can just use the elderberries themselves because of the properties that they hold. Okay, he takes the elderberry to help keep down the congestion in his nose and in his lungs. We notice he doesn't cough as much, and the sneezing and all the stuff that goes with being outside and the grass and the trees and all the stuff that happens during the summer. So you can use elderberry by itself. The dried berries is what I use. But you can use the elderberry by itself. However, now I have to add something a little extra. So today I will be adding ginger. Oh, I have ginger, cinnamon, some cloves, and some orange peel for extra vitamin C. Also at the end, after it cools off, just before I put my honey in, I also add rose hips to let it sit for a little bit for an additional vitamin C. Now, I do use honey as the preservative. It does make it sweet. That's what makes the syrup. Now, I know some people don't like to do honey. I've done it for other people with using date syrup, which won't last as long. Even though it's in the refrigerator, it won't last as long. But I've been doing honey for us, and that's what I do. Now, if you decide to do it, then you need to do what's best for you, okay? So, I will leave a list of the ingredients in the comments, and you can go online and find a recipe that you like, and then you just dress it up or dress it down however you want to. Now, like I said, I use dried elderberries, the cinnamon, ginger, and the orange peel. Now you can use star anise. Okay, let me back up. That's for just a regular syrup. Now, if you wanted to, like I said, you can just use blueberries. Sheesh. You can use elderberry alone. The properties are very good. I just like to add extra because that's what I do. But if someone has a cold or they're really fighting a bad cold, you can add echinacea. You can also add star anise and mullein too, if you're so inclined. Because now I've used that in a tea, those ingredients. But the only thing about it, if you do use echinacea, don't use it too long. You have to look it up. I'm not exactly sure how long. I'm thinking maybe 2 weeks at a time, because you don't want it. You don't want to overdo. It boosts your immune system, and you don't want to just keep pushing. So, okay, that'll be your homework for today. Look that up. All right. I'm not going to give you well, yes, I will. I'm using 2 cups of elderberry, dried elderberries. I'm using a tablespoon and a half of each of the cinnamon, the ginger, and the orange peel. And I'm also using about 20 cloves. Okay. And I'm going to add that to 8 cups of water in my pot. I'm then going to put it on the stove and let it start to boil. Turn it down and let it simmer. Now, a lot of recipes say simmer for 30 minutes. Sometimes I do an hour. What you're trying to do is reduce the liquid. And I've seen some recipes that say, you know, kind of leave the top off just a little bit. I don't like to do that. I want all of my goodness going back down in there. And if it takes longer for it to reduce, then so be it. That's the way I'm going to do it. Okay, and then after that, I am going to add my honey. But you add the honey after it cools off, because you don't want to kill the properties that are in the honey. If you're just going to use it for the syrup, then you don't want to use the additional benefits. That's fine. But the honey is what helps to preserve. It gives it a good taste, of course. That's what the kids like. And my big kid likes it too. But it also preserves the sugar, the sweetness. Is what preserves your syrup. So you try it like you want to. It will last in the refrigerator. For me, we've used it up to 3 months. Now, again, do your research, find what you like, and go with it. Okay? So here we go. I'm just going to be showing you as I pour the stuff in and put it on the stove. Okay, these are all of my ingredients. We have cloves. This is my cinnamon. This is the orange peel. And this is the ginger root. So, I'm going to pour all that into this pot. And in here I have 8 cups of water. I'm going to pour it in. And this is distilled water, by the way. You guys know I use distilled water in just about everything. That's what I cook with. And then I'm going to put this on the stove and let it begin to boil. I'll be back when it starts boiling so you can see. And it has such an amazing smell. Oh my goodness. When you're trying to make a batch, it's hard not to keep going back looking. But don't take the top off once you put it on, please. All right, here we go. Okay, as you can see, it's starting to simmer just a little bit. It's about to come to a boil. So once it does, I'm going to put the top on. Turn it down, because we don't want it boiling over. I don't want to have to clean that up. And I don't want to lose all my goodness. So once we get the rapid boil, and thank goodness I do have glass tops for my pots. That's one of the reasons I do it, so I can see what's going on without lifting it up. Okay, that's close enough for me. I'm gonna put the top on and turn it down on low. And just let it simmer along. So I'll be back after it's simmered for about an hour. All right, my timer has gone off. This has been simmering for an hour, and I'm gonna take the top off and let you see all that goodness. As you can see, all the ingredients have you know, they're now smaller. Before we had a whole lot. Most of that is at the bottom. And I turned off the heat so it's not cooking. So it's, while it's still very hot but not cooking, I'm going to add my rose hips. And the reason being, rose hips are delicate and you don't want to destroy the properties by using the heat. And this is the other thing that I did not add before. Be sure, most recipes call for you to cook the elderberries for at least 30 minutes. Please do not use less than that, because elderberries can make you very, very sick if you do not cook them. You can't eat them raw. Again, go to the good Googler, look it up. And we don't want anybody to be sick. We want make sure that you cook them well. Okay, so next time I will be back to strain and pour the liquid, and then we will measure the liquid and put in our honey after it cools off. Okay. Okay. The rose hips have marinated in the pot, and as you can see, you can't hardly see anything, but it's in there. See, this is it, and I'm going to pour. I'm going to pour all this liquid over into this large measuring cup. This is a 64-ounce measuring cup, well, measuring bowl. So I am going to pour it all in, and I'm also going to squeeze any excess out of these berries and all the other ingredients that are in here. I know you can't see that part yet. I'll have to do a little bit at a time, as much as I can. So what you do is you just kind of smash that down so you can get whatever other juice may be left in there. You can hear it. I know you can't see it, but you can hear it. Okay, so I'm going to finish that up, and then I'll come back again. So now I have gotten as much of the juice out of all the ingredients that I can get, and I'm going to stop right there. So if you remember, I began with 8 cups of water, and now I am down to 6 cups. So it boiled down to 2 cups. So the rule of thumb is whatever the amount of liquid you have left, that you do half of it in the honey. So I have some raw unfiltered honey here, and I am going to, since I have 6 cups of the, it's not syrup yet, but syrup to be, I'm going to put 3 cups I'm going to add 3 cups of honey. And I know that sounds like it's really, really sweet, and it is. If you wanted to, you could also add water to it after when you put it in your, take a tablespoon and then drink water behind it if it's too sweet for you. My crew, no, they don't mind. So that's 1. I hope I'm gonna have enough. If I don't, it'll be okay. Because as fast as it's gonna go, I don't think there's gonna be a problem. This is the 2nd cup. And this level has almost brought it back up to the 8 cups. I'm gonna try to get the rest of this in here. So I know this is not a whole cup. What's left, I'm just gonna take it and scrape it out as best I can. And then I am going to stir it up until all of the honey is dissolved. And I'm not gonna get rid of my jar for my honey. At some point, I'm gonna recycle it to use it for something else. I'm getting honey all over my fingers. If you guys weren't watching, I'll probably be licking my fingers after it's over. I think I have as much as I can get out of here now. Okay, so I'm just going to stir until all this honey is dissolved, and that's going to take a lot of stirring. So I'm not going to show you that part, but what I'll show you the finished product after I'm done and have poured it up into the jar that I'm going to use. Now this right here is it was a national brand syrup, and what I did after we used it all, I just washed it, took the label off. This is glass, and I'm going to pour, I have 2 of these. I'm going to pour the syrup into both of those, and I'll be done. And it'll last for a month or so while they're, taking a dose every day. Usually take a teaspoon, depending on how bad the allergies are. May wind up taking a tablespoon. But this keeps us out of the drugstore, keeps us out of the doctor's office. This is just something that you can do for yourself. And just to let you know that it's not just for the winter. It's good for the spring. and for, you know, for the pollen and all of that. And for the summer, on into the summer, when the air quality may get, may not be as it should be. Okay, so that's the end of this video. Like I said, I'll take a picture and let you see the finished product. And hopefully maybe you'll try it yourself. If you don't want to add all that stuff, just do it with the elderberry by itself. You can get it from Amazon. I'll put several places on there where you can get it if you're interested. In a lot of your health food stores, if they can keep it. You may wind up just getting it online. But okay, I'm done. And yes, there's a little bit of residue in the bowl, but it's okay. Not gonna hurt anything. We're gonna drink that down too. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. You guys take care. Be blessed. Peace and love to you until the next video. And hopefully I'll see you soon.